Hi, yes, some happening me, it's happening others right now during this COVID-19 period. People's psychic abilities are definitely improving because of the sensory overload we had since probably the creation of television or the mass communication systems, both analog and digital. There's a lot less background noise at the moment. Aircraft are not transmitting on radio on aircraft band frequencies and so on because they're not flying and other things. Cars aren't driving past you with their electrical starting motors and the radio inside them blasting and so on. This is has a direct effect upon your nervous system. We're opening up, or should we say, retapping into, or re-exploring, or refining uh, parts of our cognition and our nervous system that had been basically muffled out and drowned out by the electromagnetic spectrum overload. And we didn't realize it until this Corona 19, COVID 19 lockdown had basically shut down an awful lot of the noise out there. So at this time, pay attention to your dreams and pay attention to your intuition. Go with your gut feeling. Pay very strong attention to that. But also your dreams. If you don't have a dream diary, it's important to have them now. Your dreams will be off the scale at the moment. In fact, I seem to be appearing in an awful lot of people's dreams. Everyone's telling me they're seeing me in my dreams, including I'm not gonna. Some people told me that they had dreams. Or remember, I made a video recently called Meatballs, and they either the night before either had a dream about me eating meatballs or sharing meatballs with them, or bought meatballs right before I made that or released that video or made that video. Now this is because when your nervous system expands, especially if you're interested in alternative subjects, you're less likely to be obsessed with things like mass media to the same degree as a normal person. Your nervous system expands around you greatly, and it doesn't only expand in proximity around you, it also expands in space time. So this is where you're able to get insights from the future. They'll appear in things like art or a hunch or something. This will be the psychic abilities coming out to the full. Now, this is any one of you who've practiced magic or even took part in, say, mystical things like astrology or tarot or anything like that, you will find you will have these much more improved abilities. You always have them anyway, but magic is. See, this is the thing. Energy is more attainable today than it was in the Victorian, or it was to the Victorian magical schools. At the same time, what we gained from all the energy that we can use in magical workings, we've lost because of the suppression of our the muffling and the narrowing down of our nervous system and cognition due to all the electromagnetic noise. See, we paid a price in many ways. So there's this is you will notice this. Your dreams will be very, very vivid, very intense, almost psychedelic, profound. You will see colors you never saw in dreams before. You will see here's music and songs that you're not aware of. You know, a famous Paul McCartney song where he had the dream about the song yesterday. I mean, he woke, he couldn't believe that someone else hadn't written it. That'll be very common, and you'll hear songs that you never heard before. And this is the fairy music that our ancestors spoke about, the music of the fairies. Like Sligo folk music around here is it's a lot of it is derived from what they call fairy music. Someone heard the songs, music played by the fairies. And that was because in the old days they could tune out, tune in to other elements of outside space-time reality, or this particular space-time reality. I think UFO sightings will go off the scale, particularly in lights in the sky, strange lights in the sky. This again, I spoke in the other video on the Thomas Sheridan channel today about the Foo Fighter kind of effect. That lights appear in the sky during times of stress, but there'll be other kinds of lights in the sky that people that are not stressed out will see. And experiences like I told you about the bog behind here. I sense a presence in it. I realized the other day it's not that the presence has come into the bog. The presence was always there. It's because of the reduction in background noise, electronic noise, smog, electro smog, that I'm finally able to detect its subtle energy. So now it's a great time to go. If there's a particular place in the forest you've always loved, or a lake or a river, this is the time to start going there anew and renew, and you will find the same thing as well. How come this lake feels different today? How time is also strange for us as well. That's another thing that's right then. I thought somebody was going to the car. That was weird. It was a light from a car coming down the road, but I thought there was like a spectre there or something. But the you will find that what was I saying? You go to a space sacred spot, you'll find the landscape has more energy. Yes, that's true. But that's general. It'll come to me in a minute. You will find that you will understand then why our ancestors believed that a certain river was a goddess, a certain type of goddess, very common here in Ireland, or a mountain or a forest represented. And you'll have these experiences. You'll probably see things like ghosts more commonly, what whatever a ghost is, these kinds of things. You'll see spectral forms in the corners of your eyes, because your nervous system is expanding in space-time outside and tuning into other realities. So this is the beauty of this time. Because of the lack of electrosmog, you'll also find that you're telepathically can communicate with people you're friends with or close to, people that you're on the same psychic wavelength as you. And this is an opportunity. Until this, when there's already signs now, like that we're probably going to start next week moving into the the ending of this phase of lockdowns and stuff. So while it's still going, definitely definitely work with your nervous system and your cognition, and do your dream work. Your dream work is going to be very important now. And what you do now to develop your nervous system through your magical workings and so on will see you in good stead when the electrosmog comes back, because you'll have a space to build this now finally. It'd be like the same way wildlife is now returning in huge numbers because there's no traffic on the road. Well, even when the traffic comes back, it's not going to affect the numbers of wildlife because it's there now. It's there. So the same thing with these psychic abilities. If you develop them now, they will remain and you'll have them. But they won't be as good as they are now, but they'll definitely be better than from when they were before, because you finally have the specific partition within yourself, in your psyche, to have a clear access to and a feeling for. And you're going to find yourself becoming very pagan, if you're not a pagan, and very attuned psychically. Of course, it won't happen to normies who are just they don't they're not in the same world as us. But those of us, people like us, people who feel like I feel a kinship with my audience who watch my videos. You feel a kin. I like to think that some of you feel a kinship with me, that we are a kind of a soul family, and this is we will find that we're able to, I don't know, psychically attune better to one another. So if you have any comments about improved psychic abilities, or amazing dreams, or things like being aware of sensations or forces in the landscape, or anything in the corner of your eye, just like the Led Zeppelin song, if there's a bustle in the hedgerow, it's just a spring clean for the May Queen. You're going to have these experiences. Yeah, and let me know. And it's a muscle that you can work on now, improve it, and when everything goes back to what the AKA normal, you'll find that it'll put you in good stead and help. This is the same reason we're not freaking, is because this one of the reasons normies can't do this is because they're so owned by the media and they're so controlled by fear. Fear, they say, is the mind killer, but fear is really the psychic powers killer more than anything else. Okay, take care of yourselves, and next time.